crowd our days with endless tasks, chase titles, and run a race just to avoid the terrifying fear of being left behind. But in trying to make everything so perfect, we forgot that the most beautiful parts of being alive, love, friendship, and true healing cannot be rushed, scheduled, or measured. That is why we built Finding a Time. This isn't a standard polished interview, it's a village. It is a safe, quiet space to drop your heavy armor, stop pushing yourself like a machine, and simply breathe. Today, we are joined by Amarpreet, someone who understands deeply what it means to look past the surface noise and guide people back to their true selves. We are going to dive into the raw, unscripted realities of what it actually takes to navigate this chaotic world. You know, it's wild to think about the world where we are navigating right now. Today, an AI can write an entire block of Python code in just 3 seconds flat. The information is everywhere. But as a mentor who sits with people in their heaviest moments, I want to ask you, AI can write perfect Python code. But what is one thing that a student gets from a human mentor that the algorithm can never automate?
First of all, thanks for having me. And I think, see, the people often compare AI with humans, right? And I think that's not the comparison they should do. I like to compare AI with Google Maps. So let's say when you're driving somewhere new, Google Maps can, tell you where to take a turn. It warns you if there is any traffic in between, and it can even give you the fastest route also. But imagine if you're scared to drive or you feel you lost the confidence. Google Map cannot encourage you. There, a mentor can do that, right? I have worked with many students who already know the theory, they knew the coding syntax, they had watched lots of tutorials, but they didn't, believe that they can actually solve the problem. That's where the mentors can come and they can tell the student that, you have solved so many difficult things before, and this is something you can do too. So yeah, here technology can never replace a human touch in this space. So that's the reason.
Yeah, you're right. People can never really replace AI. They can just
Right.
like AI can do some. It can help us, but it can never replace us.
Right.
Yeah. So if AI can give us all the answers instantly, why does our generation feel more lost, confused, and anxious about the future than ever before?
See, AI can give us the answers, but it cannot give us the direction. So again, imagine you are standing in a library, which is the world's biggest library. Every answer is there. But does that automatically means that you know which career to choose or who you want to become or what success means to you? Not really, right? The library is not giving you the answer. Same thing is happening today. Today's students, they are surrounded by lots of information. They are also surrounded by the comparison. So every day they are seeing someone's success story or someone else's achievement and someone else's perfect life. And now they are slowly thinking to ask, like they are not asking what I do enjoy, right? They are asking why I am not like them. So here, what is happening is AI giving them lots of information, but I want to tell the students use AI with to find the information, but they have to use their own experiences to find the direction, and they don't need to outsource the thinking part. They have to think by themselves only. That's the only way they can move to find their actual destination where they want to reach.
So now that we've discussed a lot about AI and what it means, like if it will replace us or it will help us. So now I would be discussing with you the pressure to be perfect. So when a student is completely overwhelmed by the pressure to be a future ready innovator, what is the gentlest thing you say to quiet their mind?
Okay. So let me ask you a simple question. If you are climbing the staircase, will you be looking at the next step or will you be looking at the 20th step? Of course, not the 20th one, the next one, right? So what happens is you only look at the next step so that you can move to the next part. Exactly same thing should be happened with the students also. Right now, what they are doing is they are actually on step one, but mentally they are living on step number 20. Okay. So they are thinking, what if AI replaces me? Or what if I choose a wrong career? What if I fail? These are the tomorrow questions. Today's questions are much simpler. It could be like, what's the next thing I can learn? What's the next thing I can, improve? This is called next step rule, where you have to, you don't need to feel overwhelmed. You just need to solve the today's problem, not the future thing. That will help you in, feeling less less pressured, or future ready complex, which you are getting, that if I'm ready or not. That will help you in getting ahead.
Yeah, you're right. Like we don't live in the moment at all nowadays. We're always thinking 20 steps ahead. It was a very nice analogy you gave. So,
Mhm.
how exactly do you rewire a student's brain to value the beauty of a messy, failing experiment over an easy, perfect A grade?
Okay. So I actually don't use this word failure as such in my classrooms also. I use the word recalculating. So again, I'll take the example of Google Map. Let's say you take a wrong turn. Does it ever says congratulations, you have failed as a driver? It never says that, right? It simply says recalculating the new path or new route. Same thing happens with us also. Let's say a student is creating a robot and it didn't move, or it is not working. They can recalculate. If the code is crashed, they can recalculate. If the circuit is not working, recalculate. Mistakes are actually the proof that you are, doing something. It's not the proof that you are incapable. They are simply the information about what you have to try next. So once the students are able to understand this part, they will stop avoiding mistakes, because mistakes are actually there to make them learn new information, and they will start learning from those mistakes itself.
Like you're right. We should not take failure as okay. Now we failed. Now we can't reinvent or we can't do anything like that.
Right.
So I would also like to know from you that when a teenager finally drops their guard and stops acting like a tech prodigy, what are they actually crying out for?
Okay. Say, I don't think that they are looking for better lessons. They are looking for the permission to be human. So what I have noticed is, when the students is they are coming and walking through the classroom, they believe that everyone else understands everything. So they stay quiet. Even if they have any question, they don't ask. It's not because they don't care about the concept or the topic, but they think if they ask these questions, they will be looking less intelligent than the others, right? So what they should do is, they should ask questions. And I sometimes tell the students also that if you are confused, there's a probably five other students who are having exactly the same problem, but all of them are just thinking the same thing, that I might look a less intelligent person if I ask the question. So they don't ask. So learning is not about performance, right? It's a kind of a partnership. So when you are in a classroom, it should not be the place where you feel that you have to compete to look smart. It should be the place where you have to help each other to become smart.
Yeah, you're right. It should be like an inclusive environment and not like only one person is
Right.
speaking. Yes. So, like, what are the heavy, invisible burdens that high achieving STEM students carry when they feel they are allowed to have an off switch?
So, see, when we are talking about the high achieving students, they quietly start believing that being productive is the only way they can, they can be the high achieving people. If they're not studying, if they're not building something, if they're not learning something, they feel guilty about it. So let me compare it again using an analogy of our smartphones. Okay, even if you have a best smartphone with you, it still needs charging, right? And when you are charging that phone, nobody says to the phone that why you are charging, or why you should keep working continuously. We understand the batteries need to rest, right? Same happens with our brains also. So when we are taking rest, it's not something that you will be earning after the success. Rest is a part of success. So if we normalize rest, the students are not becoming lazy, they are becoming sustainable. And they feel safe, they feel safe enough to slow down sometimes. That will help them to later on get more productive and more sustainable.
You're right, because burnout is like a very real thing which is happening to all of us
Right.
nowadays. So, like, what does a burnt out teenager look like when they finally feel safe enough to make a mistake in your classroom?
Actually, what I have seen is the curiosity will come back. So let's say there is a difference. Maybe let's say I'm going for the first time to learn how to ride a bicycle. If the mentor or someone who is there to teach me simply says that if you fall once, you are not allowed to ride again, I won't probably, ride the bike for the first time itself. Same happens in the classrooms also. You have to make sure that the mistakes should feel normal. The students should not feel that someone is there to judge them every time they make a mistake. So if they are not feeling that way, if they are feeling safe, they will ask more questions, and sometimes they will even laugh at their crazy ideas. When they try something crazy, they will laugh at it as well, right? So what happens is, when they are not just learning, when they are also understanding that making mistake is also one of the outcome, and they are learning, the confidence increases itself. They are learning confidence as well at the same time.
You're right. Confidence right now is like very important for us to be in this world only. So, can
Right.
building a robot or fixing a broken circuit actually give a teenager the emotional tools to fix their own inner confidence?
Genuinely, I believe it can. See, what happens is, again, no one is born with confidence, right? We have to make the confidence, we have to build the confidence. So confidence is the evidence that every time someone is solving a small problem, the brain is, storing a memory. Okay, I figured it out. Now let's say next time another problem got solved, the brain is saying, okay, I'll solve this too, right? And eventually the brain will start thinking that, or believing that, I can solve even better difficult problems also. So same thing happens with the robots also. You build something, it's not working, you solved it. Again, you tried something new project, some new projects. Again, something is not working, you're solving it. So what is happening? The robot isn't just building the confidence; it's the problem solving experience which is building the confidence here. So that's why the hands-on learning or the project-based, learning helps students to increase their confidence, and they build it themselves while working on those projects.
You're right. So, you've given us a lot of insights about students and AI and how they work. So, now we would like to know a little bit more about your story. So, if you could look directly into the camera right now and say one thing to a teenager who feels like they are failing in a tech driven world, what would it be?
I would probably say, please don't judge your entire life based on one chapter. So let's say, imagine you're watching a movie for the first 20 minutes and you are deciding that it's a terrible movie and you walk out. That wouldn't make any sense, right? Life is also working the same way. One examination, rejection, one failure, it is not defining your story. Okay. So if you are still writing the story, keep learning, keep asking questions, keep showing up, and be patient with yourself, because what happens is, the growth is often happening long before you actually see it. So when you understand this part, you will keep trying, and it will it will be there in front of you. The success will be there in front of you, but you have to be patient with you.
That's very true. So, like, what mattered more to your survival? The tech skills you learned or the people who genuinely believed in you?
Okay, without a doubt, it's people. So see, technology can change, programming languages can change, tools can change, but if someone is encouraging you at the time when you are not believing in yourself, that will stays with you. So if something is changing, a mentor is someone who is very important. Sometimes a conversation, a teacher, a mentor can completely change the direction of someone's life. And if I can be the person or someone who can actually change someone's life, so it's going to be a biggest privilege for the mentor as well as for the children.
You're absolutely right. So, like, if there is one thing that I'm carrying away from this conversation, it's that we have to stop treating our lives like a checklist. We spend so much time trying to fix everything, to force our paths, and to avoid being left behind. But we forget the most basic rule of being alive. Love, friendship, and healing cannot be rushed or measured. A setback isn't the end of the road. It's just life showing us the world without its mask, teaching us lessons no elite textbook ever could. To everyone listening, if you're running on empty just to survive the expectations around you, please take Amarpreet's word to heart. Stop treating yourself like a machine. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be messy, to fail, and to simply breathe. Amarpreet, thank you for stripping away the professional armor and sitting with us as a real, vulnerable human being. Thank you for reminding us that our true worth can never be dictated by a status tag. You didn't just give us advice, you gave us an anchor. You have been the ultimate tie for our village today. And to everyone out there trying to find their footing in a world that never stops moving, if you need a space where you don't have to be perfect, welcome home. Hit subscribe, share this with someone who is quietly drowning in the noise, and we will see you next time. Take care of yourselves and welcome to the village.